What's up, guys? Well, things might look a little different right now than my usual setup. I had a slight issue earlier, well, through most of the day with my computer. Wasn't booting up properly, the charger, all that stuff. Anyway, I got it fixed finally, but only recently. So, I know I said that I would do a question and answer video Q&A. I did. I got like two or three questions on Twitter and YouTube. I did have a couple people, friends of mine, suggest some questions that I kind of answer for you guys if you guys are curious. But first, let's get the ones that you guys requested first. This one's from Taffin B. Carolyn on Twitter is asking. See, I've only watched a couple of your videos so far, but I am a Home Free fan, aka Home Fry, and I will watch any reaction you do with them. Thank you. I always wonder what made you decide to react to Home Free, or were you a fan first? I was not a fan first. I hadn't even really heard of them. What had happened was I got into a binge with Pentatonics, which I imagine a lot of people can say a similar story, or another band similar. I got sucked into Pentatonics, binge watched a bunch of them, realized that, hey, I should start reacting to some of these. Started off that, and immediately got a bunch of comments saying, hey, check out Home Free, check out Voice Play, check out these other a cappella groups, which was a niche that I didn't realize that I loved. And now I do. So that's kind of how I got into Home Free, and every time I see a thumbnail for another video, I'm like, I gotta add that to my list, put that on the check, and then I'll get around to watching them. I don't want to bombard you guys with too many videos at once, so I do have a list going. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got into Home Free. Let's see, I got another question from 62HG. I recall you mentioning that you weren't a big country fan, saying that, what style of music do you prefer, and what are your thoughts on Home Free? Love your reactions and hope you continue to do more. Thank you. I love them. I mean, they're awesome. The reaction after I did the reaction to their cover of Mayday, I think I've listened to that at least 20 or 30 times throughout the day today, just as I'm doing stuff. You know, editing photos, doing, cleaning around the house, making food. It's blasting in the background. And then as soon as it hits to another song I haven't heard, I'm like, no, 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 no. But mostly I listened to pretty much everything in the past except for country. I grew up, my mom was a big fan of country, and I kind of got sick of it. Not that I didn't like it. And then when I started tuning into some country earlier in the last couple of years, it just seems too much the same kind of cookie cutter country, which you can kind of say about any other song, pop, whatever. But for the most part, I just listen to whatever's catchy and what's on. I go through phases where I'll do like a dubstep phase, and that's all I listen to forever. And then I'll do like a mashup where they mash up two songs together. I'll go through a phase like that, then a heavy metal, then rock, and just kind of go. There was a whole thing where I was nothing but Avenged Sevenfold, System of a Down, Metallica, and then I switched over to, Ed Sheeran and those types. That one group, um, it's gonna bother. I'll remember it in a little bit, but I don't remember it now. They did the song Ride and 21 Pilots. That's it. Anyway, I was thinking 21 Jump Street. I'm like, that's a movie. So my taste in music kind of goes all over the place. I was in band from 4th grade up until like 11th grade. Played the clarinet, bass clarinet. So, there was always some classical in there, things like that. But good question, both of you. Thank you. Somebody had asked what I do for a living when I'm not making YouTube videos. I work in a button factory. One day, No, I work at a microchip plant or at a foundry. So we basically make microchips for devices. Chances are the main microchip in your phone or computer, anything like that probably came from a place like I work. So yeah, so that's what I did. So let's see, another friend of mine asked, what do you do in your spare time apart from watch YouTube videos? I play video games. That's kind of my thing that I do. That's my wind down time. I play video games, and depending on my mood, I'll read. I'm a big reader. I started trying to write a book. We got about 5-6 chapters in so far. Before another idea popped up in my head, and so since then I've created 2 drafts for other books. I'm all over the place when it comes to what I like to do. Let's see. I think that kind of sums up what I do in my free time. Let's see. Another question. Where did it go? Why am I here? Okay, on YouTube. Why am I on YouTube? YouTube, I think, over the last couple years that I really got into it, has become a way to express what you think, and kind of, what you think in a way, but also to kind of tell your story. Anybody can do it. Any of you guys can do it, and I highly recommend you start it. It took me a little while to finally say, all right, I'm going to record my face. And when you're gaming, that's fine, because that's not the main attention. The main attention is what you're doing. But I highly recommend any of you guys that want to get into it, give it a shot. Just set up a camera. There's plenty of free software out there. Actually, that leads up to another question. What do I use to record? There's plenty of free software out there to get into it. There's you don't really need much. YouTube kind of helps with that. But really, you meet a lot of people and you learn a lot of things. Already in the last couple weeks, I've learned about Home Free. I've learned about, other bands, voice play. I've learned about K-pop. Coworker told me to check out K-pop videos because she heard I was doing a reaction channel. Like, all this stuff that I would never, I won't say never, but I would be less likely to be exposed to without people like you guys suggesting things, doing stuff like that. So it's really cool. That's kind of why I got into it. I was binge watching a bunch of React videos. I saw other people doing it, and first, for a couple months, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not just going to copy what somebody else is doing. And then it kind of hit me. I was like, I watch brand new videos all the time, and I'm like, I've never seen this. This is awesome, watch it with friends, stuff like that. And I was like, well, might as well, react to it. And if you guys are anything like I was, there's certain songs that well, and you want to see somebody else react to how you did during a certain part. Like that Mayday video. As soon as I finally saw it and I posted it, I started watching other people's reactions. And I immediately go straight to that part where Chance goes down to that low note. And I do that with all the videos. I go straight to a certain part of the video that I remember going like, holy shit, what was that? And I go straight to see what they do. And then I'll watch, the rest of the video. So I kind of want to get back to that too. I enjoyed watching people react, so I want to give somebody else something to watch. But really, it's about you guys, and you guys are being super supportive, and this is great. I don't think I'm gonna give it up. It's just starting out. It's a great thing to do, and I'm enjoying it. The other question was, what have you been using for your setup? Considering the first 50 plus videos were crap. Well, my computer is a gaming laptop, so I don't have a desktop setup. So I've been using my webcam on my computer. I have cheap they're good headphones with a built-in mic designed for, one's got the speaker, one's got the mic input. And then as far as setting up for recording, when I record the screen, before when I was recording the screen and my face, I was using OBS software. And then uploading it, I had key bindings set up so I could start recording and end recording, and that's all I had to do. React, hit stop, upload it to YouTube. So as you could, there was no editing, there was no anything like that. This morning when I posted, I had to get a little creative. My main Nikon is being used by somebody right now for photography, for photos. So I'm going to be using that soon as my main recording. But this morning I took my iPhone 8 and I set it down, reversed, and recorded it in 1080p, 60 frames, and then went through a whole hassle of converting the video on my computer to a workable program, used Sony Vegas Pro to stitch it all together, and then uploaded it to YouTube. So the one this morning was a little more time consuming because of the workaround I had to use with the iPhone until I get my other camera. But I think it looked better. I saw a couple comments saying that it did look and sound a lot better. So thank you guys for that. I will be doing more with that. Other than that, that's kind of my quick Q&A and a little bit more about myself. If you guys have any other questions, feel free. I'd like to try and make this a weekly thing. It doesn't have to be questions about me necessarily. It could just be, you know, give me a topic or ask me questions about something that you're, you know, passionate about, or see if, you know, something. And try to keep it not very, you know, try not to make it political, try not to make it religious, things like that. But any other questions, I'll do my best to answer. And this is something I don't think I've said before, but let's try and keep, so far, everybody's doing awesome, but let's keep the chat the way it is. Very friendly, nice. You guys are very informative, very awesome, and, but I don't want it to devolve into something crazy down the line where I'm going to have to ban comments or disable them. So just basically keep up what you guys have been doing. You guys have been doing great as fans, or I say fans, viewers. Getting kind of big-headed already. No, you guys have been awesome. It's hard to put into words how awesome it is to every time I look down at my phone and I see a new notification from YouTube. I'm like, oh, I got a new subscriber. Oh, you know, somebody's commented on something. Let me see what they had to say. But mostly it's been me running to a list and writing down the next video I have to write or watch, and trying not to watch them beforehand, because I have poor impulse control. So if I see a video that I'm like, oh, that looks amazing, I'm like, no, I can't watch it yet. So enough of me rambling. I hope you guys enjoy this quick little Q&A session. Again, I apologize for doing this all kind of handheld if it's jiggling around a little bit. I should be back up to my normal setup tomorrow. And yeah, if you guys enjoy the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon.